love in town. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Every story, every glory, every promise we keep. From the love of the game to the struggles we face, he's the voice of the people in the sacred space. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. There's a love in the air for the game and the grind, for the players who hustle, leaving it all behind. Through the sweat and the tears, the blood and the fight, BWatts tells the stories under the bright lights. In the silence of the night, when the crowd fades away, he's the echo of hope at the end of the day. With a heart full of dreams and a voice full of soul, he's the heartbeat of sport.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing tonight? I'm Bernard watching Sports Talk with BWatts on a Sunday night. Hey, if you don't mind, do my favor. Hit the like button. It's very important. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. And also hit that bell notification. It'll let you know whenever I go live doing a broadcast or drop a short or drop a video at any time. All right? If you're a sponsor, if you would like to be a partner with me on Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, every Sunday. Won't miss the show. I promise you. Contact me. The number's at the bottom of the screen, the information at the bottom of the screen. All you got to do is send me an email, cbwatts1@aol.com. Tonight, my co-host, Coach Dre. Y'all know Coach Dre down there in Gainesville, Florida. I think it's Gainesville. Yeah, I hope it is. Yeah. Well, it gonna have to be right now until he get up here and explain it. But he from the state of Florida. He's been my co-host for about now a year now. I appreciate him. Thanks for everything that he does for the broadcast. Also sharing his background in coaching and his team that he coached, giving us some information and sharing information to each one of you. And also tonight, guests will be Uncle Steve and Jay Fox, two of the best, finest young men. I know y'all call him Uncle Steve, still a man that you ever can have be a part of this podcast. And they will bring you their best. I'm telling you, their best content tonight. All right. Well, no, last night I had trouble with my phone. I think I might still do. I see that cable thing almost, but we're gonna try to make it do. If it's still acting up, I'm gonna just go back and let them know. All right. Let's see what we got. What we got. Young, what's going on? How you doing? Appreciate you tonight, Chef Shelby. How you? Miss E. Wood, how you doing? FD, Miss Harris. Try to get y'all out the way while I bring on out. Let's see what's going on. What's up? Let's see who I miss. All right. Take you tonight. Bless the budget. She says, I don't like again. Miss Jenny, what's up? I ain't seen you in a while. Yeah. Y'all got excuse what's going on. Some of y'all with appreciate you. If my mind acting up, y'all just got excuse me till I figure out what's going on. I don't know. What's going on, Jill? Well, that's enough. I gotta bring up the guys and we can start this show. Let's see what we got. Got Coach Gray. Yep. Got the old school going on. What's up, fellas?
What's going on, bro? Good evening, good evening, good evening.
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Having problems with everything, man. I don't know what's going on with this. Lad. How y'all doing?
What's going on? What's going on? Man, BWatts, that microphone sound like it's in the Twilight Zone, man.
Still hanging out?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, wow, man. This that's not problem, boy.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to send you a care package, man.
No,
Man.
I'm gonna have to send you a care package.
hey, Jr. What we gonna have to do though? Otis gonna the sound man getting fired today, and we gonna let Coach Dre narrate because we can't hear all that snack crackling and popping. This ain't
For real.
this ain't the Temptations. This ain't the old Otis and the Temptations. This the Temptations.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to send a what they call it a benevolent offering. So I'm gonna send you a benevolent offering, BWatts, a care package full of connection wires. I get you straight.
Oh, I had a good show. I need my laptop. Boy. Whoa. Man. Yeah, got a girl down so she can get this thing out. I know I weighed something. I weighed a drink from the laptop there. We don't think that effect. I hope it can. Man, it is what it is. All right, guys. Hey, Coach Prime and the Colorado football team, along with Frank Brown, the head coach of Syracuse, have started the process of paperwork is in the hands of the NCAA. When it first came out, I said, whoa. I said, man, the NCAA sign some paper, don't let it happen. Well, Coach Prime, wait up. He think he got a good chance. It happened. I want to hear what y'all take on and what y'all think. Just rotation how we gonna go all night. They all gonna start then Coach, then I can see talking about.
I think he said, talk to me, JR. But let me pull up my notes. You see what I got right here? Look at that. Pull up my notepad. You know, electronic these days, BWatts. So let me pull up my notepad, y'all, for the pre-production notes. So it seems like it said, what's the next step for Coach Prime? Is that correct, BWatts? That's one. What's the next step for Coach Prime? So to me, honestly, I believe the next step for Coach Prime at the University of Colorado is more so just building a more let me not say a more, but building a dominant team, right? So he came in, he preached dominance early on because that's just been a part of his like mantra. You follow him all the way back to his high school days, as far as like being a dominant, play caller with Coach Hart being the head coach, and they were dominant in that district of football. Then you move over to Jackson State, they became dominant at Jackson State. Now you get to Colorado, we have preached the words of dominance, but I don't quite believe we've risen to that stature yet for Colorado. So to me, I think that's the next step for Coach Prime, dominating the play of field or dominating the play on the field. The recruiting has improved, the facilities and the coaching staff has improved. So the next step is to just put a more dominant performance on the field. I have yet to see a CU game. Me personally have yet to see a CU game where all four phases of the football team have been dominant all at once. So that's something that I would like to see. So for me, that's the next phase. It's to you, I believe, Uncle Steve.
Well, it's time to me to run with it. With that being said, I want to say hello, everybody out there in chat land. Thank you for the nice greetings that you have. It's always good to see you. We're going to make this thing rock and roll. What we can do here, if BWatts continue to be choppy like he is, what we're going to have to do, Greg, you're going to have to read, and then we're going to say congregation continue and keep it moving. What I think the next step is going to be is this one here, is for Coach Prime to start letting his OC and DC, they're going to have to take it to the next level. And the next level is this one here, where Coach Prime is there facilitating everything, but his people that he have in place, now it's time for them to show us and the people that they are running this here well-oiled machine. You have, this is what you have now, like JR said it. First thing you had a football team that wasn't relevant. Now they're relevant. You had a football team that wasn't winning. Now they're winning. You had a football team that couldn't recruit. Now they're recruiting. So he's touching all of those facets when it pertains to the things that he needs to do. The biggest thing Coach Prime is going to have to do is get buy-in from those alumni and people who put money in. I don't care how much Coach Prime is doing. If you ain't bringing in something that's green, you're gonna be two steps behind everybody else. The SEC can't be paying 30, 40 million and your school is paying 10. You're not going to compete. I don't care who you are. You can get up there and you'll play with the big boys, but you're not playing with the big boys because the big boys is able to afford those Otises. They got 6 Otises while we got 1. You know, those big boys got Jeremiah Smiths. They got 3 or 4 Jeremiah Smiths. We got 1 Jeremiah Smith or possible. So those are the things I'm looking for. I'm looking for that investment. And that's not a quote unquote Coach Prime thing. Coach Prime has shown the people that he's worth investing in and that CU is a good product to invest in. So that has to be done because I'm not going to put all of this on what Coach Prime needs to do. It's the people now who wears that CU uniform so proudly and has so much honor about it. Now it's time for them to put that money in so Coach Prime can go to that next level. It's your time, Coach Dre, and it's always good to see you, sir.
First and foremost, I want to thank y'all boys for joining us tonight. Like I say, it's always an invite. I ain't never too big or too small to share this platform with y'all, my brothers. Um, Again, to me, it's about what Uncle Steve said. It's more about us being able to compete on the money level. The field stuff gonna take care of itself. Um, we don't have to worry about the recruits because the coaching staff that Coach Prime has assembled, he keeps telling you, my rod, it comforts me. The reason it comforts me is because you can't compete with me when it comes to staffing. When I bring a running back in the room, when I can sit him down and he can talk to Marshall Falk, and I can bring a defensive lineman in and he can talk to Staff and Pico. You got Helu. What we have to do now is again understand that we want to be on the same playing field, and that's all he ever wanted. I think people that at CU, the first year you have to be honest with yourself. We wasn't on the same playing field. We got there late. We wasn't able to get the right personnel. But what coach in his right mind gonna come out here and tell kids y'all ain't right for my program? I gotta get what I gotta get for my program to get to where it needs to be. Now, like JR said, you're gonna see a difference in coaching now because now also I don't have my kids here. I'm just coaching football. Now I'm gonna make some of these young men my kids because that's the way you should coach. But my actual son isn't playing quarterback, and now the offensive line coach ain't so worried about, man, if this guy get hurt, that ain't just the quarterback, that's the coach's son. The offensive coordinator again. When you have a Tom Brady or a Peyton Manning, you don't question those guys because they have the acumen and the knowledge to do what they're doing. This year, no disrespect to K. Salter, because I think he's a heck of a quarterback. Julian Lewis, you will not see kids changing plays at the from the line. So what I expected the same thing I done seen for the next 2 years. It was a gradual upgrade. We will be better than we were last year because Coach Prime has put into success. And with the money thing, I think Prime gonna take care of that on his own because these kids that I'm finna keep getting first round draft picks that's making that big money, or these kids that's getting these high endorsement deals. You heard Travis say, I didn't take a dime from the school. Don't worry about it. We'll put the money back in. So if y'all don't want to help, we'll find a way. We'll produce our own money and we'll find a way to make that happen. Go ahead, BWatts.
Hey, what y'all saying that what makes Coach Prime good for Colorado?
He said, "Hey, Jr." He said, "What makes Coach Prime good for Colorado?" That was the next question. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I think what makes Coach Prime good for Colorado is just him being unapologetically himself. And that's a characteristics that I think a lot of people struggle with, especially on the national stage and things like that. Most oftentimes than not, you get a different version of somebody that you see outside of the camera or outside of the playing field or things like that. Him just being unapologetically like himself, just being Coach Prime, that charisma, that the mantra, the aura that he brings. I think that's what makes him good for CU. Now we can get into the minutia of like coaching strategies and things like that. But me personally, I think what just makes Coach Prime good for the University of Colorado is him. Because with him brings what Uncle Steve talked about and what Coach Drake talked about, the money, the notoriety. We're talking about a program that's been down in the dumps for well over 2 decades. So to put that program back on a national stage from a football sense, just based off of his charisma up front, that brought that to the forefront. And then the play on the field from his sons and from Travis Hunter and other players that contributed, that also elevated the team. But when we're talking about people selling tickets, a lot of people said they followed, especially me. Let me speak for myself. I followed Coach Prime to Colorado. It's to you, Uncle Steve.
Well, for me, Jr., I'm rocking and rolling with what you're saying, but I'm one of those ones. You got to have substance. It's good to have charisma. Charisma will open doors for you. You know, a lady will say, "Oh, he got a little charisma. I'll listen to him for a few minutes," and they'll listen to you, and they'll let you rock and roll, and they'll let you rap to them. But what they gonna ask you after that? What substance do you have? What do you have anything about you? Do you have values? Do you have productivity when it pertains to yourself? And when you look at it, if you don't have those things, all that substance, all that charisma means nothing. What Coach Prime have and what CU have is this. They both needed each other. It's like Ike and Tina. You know, Tina was Tina was an old country girl from Mississippi, but she needed that old Ike. Ike was the one who made her sing it from here, made her sing it from that stomach the way she needed to sing it. Ike was the one who put the music out there, say, hey, this is the way it needs to be sung. And that's what Coach Prime is. Coach Prime is the one who puts Colorado on the map. Coach Prime is the one that puts Colorado with players of substance. Coach Prime produces. Coach Prime needed to be needed, and Colorado needed to be needed. So it was a marriage made in heaven. And then last but not least, Colorado opened up his doors and told Coach Prime, it's yours. You have the keys to the kingdom. And when you gave the keys to the kingdom to the man sitting next to the man, sitting next to the man, he just took it and ran from it. So that's to me is what the Coach Prime effect is. And it's to you, Coach Dre.
I mean, that's basically it. See, everybody looking for really what they supposed to do in life. See, It's about the purpose. You gotta have a purpose. I keep telling people everybody just wanna think it's about this and that, but it's gotta be a purpose behind it. Cause he was happy. I'm like JR. He was at Jackson State. He was running the SWAC. No ifs, ands, and buts about that. He had nothing left to prove at the HBCU level. But what I knew was I couldn't. My son, what do you believe Shedeur and Travis would be where they are right now if I'm at Jackson State? Because what they'd have said was, y'all didn't play nobody, right? And so let's be honest. He had opportunities to go to other places, but what made Colorado a fit is what Unc said was, I'm gonna give you the keys to the car, and I ain't gonna sit on the side. I ain't gonna sit on the side and try to side drive with you. I'm gonna just let you drive. I'm gonna put you. Hey, there's no like when you're 15 years old, you get learner's permit, and when you get 16, when you get learner's permit, your parents got to sit in the car with you. But when you get your license, you can drive by yourself. Well, see what they did was they see in the SEC when you get in the driver's seat, you got your learner's permit. They ain't letting you drive the car by yourself. They telling you how to drive it, which way to drive it, where you can go and what you can't do. What they did was they gave Prime his driver's license and said, here you go. You can drive on your own. Go make us great again. And they didn't try to hold him back. They kept him, they let him do his thing his way. And what people fail to realize is you got a black man coming to a predominantly white university and changing the culture and bringing people together. Nobody looks at it that way. So that's what made this a great job, and I think that's what made it appealing to Coach Prime. Besides the other stuff, taking the wheels off, that I can bring people of all colors and all creeds together and make and you see what it looks like on Saturday, right? So the Prime, and then again, after Prime said what he said, look at all these head coaches and all these young men that are getting the opportunity to coach at this level. Again, guys, unbeknownst to y'all, they were blocking these NFL players from being head coaches. They didn't want them to be head coaches. They didn't want them to succeed. So for what Prime did at the University of Colorado and why he was good for it, because they gave him the keys and told him, you drive us there. You drive us there. And that's what he's doing. He's driving us there. Go ahead, BWatts.
I don't feel like you don't want to hear me, so you like a minute. Check this out. Coach Prime coaching staff that he put them together. And he just brought back in. What is all y'all opinion about the coaching staff and the influence of Byron Leftwich on y'all?
Well,
You heard that, JR?
yes, sir, I did. BWatts, I think Coach Prime has put together a phenomenal coaching staff, and it's great this year, unbeknownst to like the previous years, continuity. Because even when he was at Jackson State, continuity was never a thing within the coaching staff. It was always a mix-up in the coaching staff. So this year, bringing back same offensive coordinator, same defensive coordinator. So as far as certain rules or certain implementation of scheme and things like that, that doesn't have to be like started completely over. We have a foundation which we're building from with Coach Livingston and then Coach Shermer already on the offense and defensive side. To add in a guy like Byron Leftwich, again, that's another master level type of mind to put on a coaching staff. You got to think, he's made it to the highest level. He's played in the highest game. He's coached in the highest game. He's coached one of the highest players in the game. So that type of mindset, that type of mastery when it comes to coaching cannot be understated. Adding Byron Leftwich to the coaching staff, it was an A+ slam dunk hire, however you want to quote it, put it, but it was a great hire for the program all around. And it was something that we even spoke about. BWatts specifically, you spoke about what are they doing to better the rest of the quarterbacks in the quarterback room. And I think a guy like Byron Leftwich will completely help coach those quarterbacks up. It's to you, Uncle Steve.
Well, when you're talking about Mr. Leftwich there, what you got to realize this one here, and this is what I realized. When Pat Shermer can do so much when it pertains to those QBs, you're not going to have that attention on that second, third, and fourth QB that you're going to have on the first, because your job is to get that first ready to be ready to play that game and to have them ready to compete and win. That is huge, especially when you have all of them new quarterbacks coming in except Staub and Ponder, but the ones that you're expecting to play are new. And because of that, you need another eye. You need another eye, ears, and you need another body that is qualified and has their attention to get in there and be able to uplift your Jujus and your Ponders and your Staubs when you're working with K-Salt. You also need to have someone in there with a different point of view, because when you're in there, you can see things. Schumer's going to see things his way, the way he sees it. But it's always good to have someone else in there and say, hey, I know you see it this way, but with working with this guy, you might get more productivity if you do this. I know you want to run it this way, but if he's not good at that deep ball, for instance, or if he's good at the deep ball and that's his thing, let's do this play action. Let's drop it these 5 yards, and then when we get those shots to put it over the top, we need to do it. And that's the way Leftwich can help him out. But like anything, what you need to see is this. Coach Prime is getting better. Every time somebody leaves out or he realizes that this room needs more help, what I've seen is that room has gotten better. And that's what we need to recognize. I don't care who it is. Tell me a position that Coach Prime has that have left that has not gotten better, and we can talk. I haven't seen it. It's gotten better or it's at that level. So with that being said, that's what I'm seeing from Coach Prime with his coordinators, and we're going to continue to see that because it's people knocking on his door to get in. And that's a great pickup for him doing it. And it's to you, Coach Dre.
Again, all great points. When you talk about coaching staff, again, his first coaching staff, you had to get it off the fly. You had to get it off the fly. And I don't know if y'all caught it, but Coach Prime said I don't know if it was an interview, but he was talking with somebody, and he said, I learned that I like to coach with pros more than I like guys that's been in college. And I had to learn it the hard way. I'm going to say that again. He said I had to learn it the hard way. So he was doing a lot of trial and error that first year. You go out and your defensive coordinator leaves and goes back home to Auburn. He's an SEC guy. And you go hire a no-name. And I remember people telling us we were stupid. Y'all was dumb. That was the stupidest hire you ever made. But he went out and found a guy that fit his background, checked off all his boxes, and showed you what his loyalty could bring. You go out and you go get a guy who could play, who could be a defensive coordinator any way he wanted to, and he knew, and bring him in. And then you promote within when Coach Nix leaves to go to Syracuse, and you bring up Dancy to be your defensive ends coach. The offensive line coach leave with his homeboy, so we thought, and you go bring in coach. You bring in the offensive line coach from last year, and he does his job. Fast forward to this year, Dancy leaves, he leaves. What do? I see that 3 D-line coaches worked last year with no ego. So what I'm gonna do this year, I'm gonna promote within, and then I'm gonna go get an All-Pro in Coach Dre, a Colorado legend, and then I already got Big George here, who gave up, for what y'all don't know, gave up the job at IMG to come help Coach Prime. He left IMG. He left IMG by mid-season because he didn't like what Colorado was doing. Didn't know if he was going to get a job. Didn't know if Coach Prime had a spot. Just stepped out on faith. And the brotherhood, and now he gets elevated again. Now you bring in this year, you go out and you bring in Marshall Falk. Like Unc said, your room got better. You go out and you bring in Leftwich. He coached the GOAT. He took the GOAT to a Super Bowl. When you talk to Tom Brady and he talks about Leftwich, he tells you that this guy is an NFL head coach. Guys, I want y'all to pump your brakes. Leftwich probably will only be here 1 year. This probably was in the works beforehand. Leftwich didn't think that all these NFL openings would come open. So again, Coach Prime let him go see if somebody was going to be smart enough to hire Leftwich. No one was. So now you come on back to Colorado, you get your feet wet. I think that Sherman will go up in the box, Leftwich will be on the field, or maybe vice versa. But you will have somebody up there breaking down this play for play, get the eyes up there that you trust, that knows what you're doing. But Coach Prime is masterful in hiring coaches. And guys, he's not done this year. He told you he's not done this year. And when they said that you could have unlimited coaching, that was the worst thing they could ever did for Deion Sanders. Because now Deion Sanders can go get the plethora of guys. And now when guys just want to come in and just say, I just want to help, it ain't about the money. You heard Marco Fox say it ain't about the money. I got money. Money ain't why I'm here. It ain't about the money. And when you get guys like that, that's there for one purpose, the guy that's in the chair, and you can't beat that. So Coach Prime is getting guys that meet all the characteristics that he wants. Go ahead, BWatts.
Hey, Coach, I'm also in that conference that he learned from last year, the previous years. Just don't need good players. I found out I need good coaches to go along with the good players. And by me letting it well off on 2 days ago, the punt return, I saw Draylon Miller back there with a freshman taking in punts. So my question to you, which true freshman do you think have a chance returning punts next year? True freshman.
Look, it got to be somebody from Texas, right? I mean, it got to be somebody from Texas. Coach Dre, you know it. It got to be Uncle Steve, you know it. BWatts, you know it. It got to be somebody from Texas. Look, if I had to pick one of my guys from Texas, I would go with Q for six. My reason for going with Q for six is giving him the opportunity to show his dynamic output in open space. And what better way to have open space than on punt return or on kick return? That'll probably be the most open of spaces that you will have in a football game. So for me, mine would be Q for six. All his attributes, I think, fit very well for punt return, kick return guy, and he can make an immediate impact, in my opinion, in special teams. It's to you, Uncle Steve.
I'm going with Farrakhan. I like that, JR. It will be a Texas. It will be a Texas unless we counting Cam Michael, who will be a, since he didn't play last year. If you're gonna put him in that freshman category, then it'll be a Georgia boy. So with that being said, I'm gonna do with Farrakhan, and I just look at Farrakhan. He got the body for it. He's familiar with it. That's what he did in high school. He was very successful with it, and you can watch him. I truly believe he's the type of guy that they're going to trust. When you look at it, you will have a good belief that, hey, he's going to do the right thing. He's going to make the right decisions. He has the body to take the hits, and he can take it to the house when he needs to. What they want to ensure, he's going to hold on to that ball, and he's going to make good decisions. And that's the person that I think that'll really be there for it if we don't have Cam Michael. But back to you, Coach Dre.
Uh, yeah, we gotta talk about that for a second. I mean, it's gonna be a Texas guy, but it's gonna be Q6 to me, just simply because I think right now Farrakhan is fighting to start on offense. I think Farrakhan right now is fighting to start. or for significant playing time on offense. But I just think that you get a guy like Q6 in space with the ball in his hands, he catching a punt, one or two shakes, he makes somebody miss, he can take it to the house. I think he's kind of like he's just special with the ball in his hands. And when you come from Texas Big A football like he was, and you do what you do like he did, you got to respect him. I know they want to fix the way he catches the ball right now, so it would be one correction for him is the way he catches the ball. I see Coach Prime and Coach Phillips trying to fix that. But right now, if I had to go with somebody, it'd be Q.
So why y'all think Drake Long like that?
You
I
said
think
true.
Drake.
You
Oh,
said
go ahead,
true.
Coach Dre.
You said true freshman, boss. You didn't say who was going.
I know I'm through with that. I'm through with that.
I just think Draylon gonna have a heavy load on offense. So I think if we trying to again and then what you want to do, this is a little secret. What you want to do is you want the other freshmen that's coming in to say, hey, this is a way that we can get on the field. So to me, that would be the reason why we would do that. Y'all see who up here, my pastor up here. Y'all give a hand clap to my pastor, the Rev, all the way from Sacramento, California, man. Y'all put your hands together for the Rev. Go ahead, Rev.
Rev, we can't hear you. You're mute.
There we go. What's up, everybody? How's everybody?
How you feeling, Rev? How you feeling this evening?
We
Good,
doing
Rev.
good.
How you feeling?
Appreciate y'all. Thank you, BWatts. Allowed me come up here and hang out with the fellas.
If y'all don't know, Rev is a pastor at Mount Zion Baptist Church in Sacramento, California. This morning I got to actually hear a great word this morning. So Rev, go ahead and tell them about your church, and then we'll move on with the program, Rev.
All right. First of all, uh, say hello to the chat. What's up, everybody? Um, we are in Sacramento. I'm actually staff pastor. Unique story. The former pastor was a good friend of mine. I had just 2022 resigned from a position at another church as an assistant. And so I had preached for him a couple of times, and I wasn't going to Mount Zion. So I said, well, I go and visit. What's going on after the game? I go and visit, but I wasn't. I said, no, I'm not going over there. So I wasn't feeling it. If nothing wrong with the church, but I just didn't want everybody to think that I was coming over there because I knew some other folks there. Well, he heard that I was no longer where I was used to be at. I get a phone call, and this high sign, he said, Reverend, I said, hey, Doc, what's going on, man? He said, look, I ain't going to keep you on the phone long, but I understand you no longer over there where you was at. I said, that's right, that's true. He said, I want you to come over and help me. I said, you want me to what? He said, I want you to come over and help me. I said, okay. I said, let me pray about it. And because I was intending not to go, then the Lord told me, he said, Negro, the man said, come help him. What you waiting on? Go help the man. And I think to a certain degree that it's very likely, because sometimes the Lord will give you a heads up about you getting it ready to transition. And that was in March. The Lord called him home in July. He folded up his tent and moved upstairs. And so I'm a staff pastor over there, and in the process of looking for a pastor. Hey, Sister Sabrina. So I've been helping since he transitioned in 2022. And so we there now, and we trying to do a little thing, keep the folks encouraged. Tom saying he'll call you out. He will sure enough call you out. Call you out and rip the covers off you. Think you all warm and cuddly. He said, no, snatch the covers, said, get busy. So I'm over there helping out. We are on Facebook and YouTube. The preacher that preached today was one of my preaching nephews. I got preaching nephews all over the country. And so he preached, and as my old pastor say, this morning that boy twisted his mouth. Yep. So good service today. Good service today.
I appreciate that introduction. We're gonna move on with the show. You say where you at. You got anything you want to say? That's it. Okay. Ask this question. They said they hear me.
Is BWatts breaking up to y'all too?
Listen to you got Shedeur Sanders. When it come down to this draft, where you see Shedeur Sanders being drafted?
Is that directed to me? Okay.
No. Go around. You gonna go last, Rev. Go ahead, JR. Then Rev and I'll go last. Go ahead, JR.
Yeah, look, BWatts, man. To me, it's interesting how this this NFL thing goes, man. It's definitely, to me, it's so political, man, when it comes to the offseason. For Shedeur to start the season as one of the top quarterbacks, and then you get into the certain intricacies of details of arm motion and arm strength and pocket awareness and all of these certain things, right? And not throwing at the draft and all and interviews with all of the 32 ball clubs and things like that. And then they try to put him down. In my opinion, Shedeur is a top 5 player in this draft. He's a top 1 quarterback selection. So wherever he goes, I mean, if you start listing off the teams that need a quarterback, the Cleveland Browns, the New York Jets, the New York Giants, you start listing off teams like that, the Tennessee Titans that need a quarterback as well. He fits the mold for any one of those teams. Shedeur said it himself. Look, I've been to program, and all I have done is won football games. I know how to win. And so that's what you need in the NFL. You need a winner. You need somebody that will do whatever it takes to win in that position. So I look, and if I were to pick a team for Shedeur for him to go to, I would say probably to the Giants. And although I know the Giants picked up Jameis Winston, but I still think Shedeur would be better suited for the Giants. And seeing him play in a market like that, I think he would flourish because he's built for that. He has endured so much criticism, whether it's positive or negative. That's a media market that I think he is prepared for, in my opinion. So it's to you, Uncle Steve.
Well, I appreciate that, JR, but you sure took the long way around the street, man. Let me make it short. My short is the New York Giants. Boy, you took the long way. You took the Texas route, but that's okay. I drove through Texas before. It took me a long time. With that being said, let's say the New York Giants, they bought my boy Jameis Winston for some If you do it, they got him for some crab legs at $4 million. And if you paying a quarterback $4 million, that is not your quarterback that you plan on keeping. So with that being said, I'm saying 2 going to the Giants, and I see the the Tennessee Titans and the Cleveland Browns firing their general manager for making the biggest mistakes in the world for not getting 0-2. Back to you.
Go ahead, Ralph.
What's interesting is that all of this hoopla, this hot garbage stink that everybody else is trying to do against 2. I believe he's going to New York, but I do know this: New York better be careful about how they treat 2, because it will not set well with them. They can do themselves irreparable damage because, BWatts, some people like a Maytag washing machine. All they like to do is agitate. Go ahead, BWatts.
That's it. I think it's gonna be the team we don't want. The people that's throwing the most smoke screens, and it's the Cleveland Browns. I just don't think that you let this guy go past number 2. I'm sorry, I don't want it. I don't like it, but I just, when you look at the way they throwing the smoke screens out, and you look at what they doing, it just makes you feel like if the Titans don't pull the trigger,
Yep.
or somebody don't jump in, or somebody trade that first pick to get up there, the Cleveland Browns will not let the New York Giants get Shedeur Sanders. So I'm going with the Cleveland Browns with Shedeur. Go ahead, B.
That's it. That way you don't, if you don't go first. So also from Colorado, Steve, the legend lost his life. The boxer, Mr. George Foreman. Let's see. Can you do that tribute for Mr. George Foreman? Give that tribute. We're gonna go around the hall and see what the fellas got to say. A great one. Before you go, Steve, the short video.
I think he hurt Joe Frazier. I think Joe is hurt. Angie Dundee, Ali's trainer, right next to me, is saying it. You may hear him. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. The heavyweight champion is taking the mandatory 8 count. Frazier is dazed. You see the countdown for the first round. Foreman has not panicked. Foreman is going about his job. Foreman is all over Joe Frazier. Frazier is down again, and he may be. No, he.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk to you today about George Edward Foreman. Some of you people out there, when you think of George Foreman,
Steve, one thing. Sound like he was saying down goes BWatts with that microphone. Okay, I'm through.
Oh, shots fired. Because his mic is not down. His mic is out.
Hey, Ralph. You know what I said, the first you is the last. This your first, this your last. On the shortstop will be the right got good.
BWatts, the problem is he didn't hear what you said because it was breaking up. But with that being said, let's get with the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour. We're gonna go with Mr. George Edward Foreman. When people think about George Foreman, people think of all different things. You're gonna have some people when they think of old George, they had a nickname for him. It was old Big George. Some people will think of him as Big George. You're gonna have people who think of him as a 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. When he was in his 20s and when he was 45 years of age, he won the heavyweight championship of the world. You're going to have some people who think of George Foreman, he was a businessman. When he went out there and he sold one, I tell you what, if you old school, you remember George Foreman when he was did those infomercials, when he did Midas, when he did the Midas, that muffler. But you also had it when he made that boohoo money with that Foreman, with that grill, with the George Foreman grill. You also think of George Foreman, you think of a minister. You think of a man who spread the word, the gospel to nations. When you think of him, you'll think of a humanitarian. When you think of George Foreman. When you also think of him, you'll think of him as a devoted father. 5 boys, 7 girls. And all the boys were named after him, George. What a man. Named all your boys after you, George. And when you also think of George Foreman, you think of a husband, a devoted husband to his wife. And they were married in 1985, if I'm not mistaken. With that being said, I will tell you this here. You also have it. He won a gold medal, Olympic gold medal, Mr. Foreman. So when you think of all of these great things for George Foreman, I want y'all to know this one here. George Foreman lived the American dream. George Foreman beat the statistics. George Foreman was a young man growing up. He was a troubled youth in that place called Houston, Texas, if you will. He grew up in H-Town. And I'm going to tell you something right now. George Foreman wasn't a good kid. You know, he had a little trouble growing up. But the beauty about George Foreman was this one here. He had a praying mother. He had a mother that loved him. He had a mother that cared over him, that knew that he had the potential to be anything that he wanted to be. You got to realize, too, with Mr. Foreman, when he was 15 years old, he dropped out of high school. Dropped out, no high school education. But what he did was this one here. He listened to his mother, and the gentleman, he went and said, let's go to the Job Corps. Went to the Job Corps, got a GED, and when he got his GED, the good thing about it, when your heart is right, God put people around you to put you in the direction you need to go. So some people saw this young man. He had some shoes, raggedy clothes, but he had a good heart. They knew it was something about it. Now, I'm going to go tell you this one here. This is what I love about George Foreman. George Foreman, from rags to riches, lived the American dream. But what he did that was special to me, all of those accolades are beautiful. That man made, when he won the heavyweight championship, he made millions of dollars. And he lost all of it. Because when he stopped boxing at that young age, he saw God. He said he thought he was dying. God told him, it's time for you. He promised God, if I live, Lord, if you just let me live, I'm going to spread your word and tell people how great and awesome you is. And he kept his word. God kept his word, and George Foreman kept his word. He spread that gospel until the day he died, and he spread it to the multitude of people. But what I liked about George Foreman was this one here. Yes, he was broke coming up. He didn't have no high school education coming up, but he still produced and became a millionaire as a heavyweight boxer. Let's go even deeper than that. He lost all of that money. Some people stole it from him. This man could not pay for his electric bill for the gym that he had in Houston, Texas, and had to go in and ask people to borrow money in banks to try to keep that going. But the beauty about it, this one here, he did all of that, but he kept spreading the word. Anybody else would have been like, man, all them millions of dollars I did boxing, I'm not stopping that. That's my gold ticket. That man kept on preaching because he gave his word to the Lord. People laughed at him and everything else. The beauty is about it, how God does things. A man 45 years old, God tell him, hey, you can still do it. He got back in that ring and won the championship again. And not only did he win the championship, this is the beauty. He kept spreading the word. People thought it was corny when he was talking about how good God is and how God can move mountains and how God can use anything to do great things. People laughed at him. But the laughing stopped when Mr. Foreman won the heavyweight title, stopped. He got the George Foreman grill, made hundreds of millions of dollars off that George Foreman grill. And with that being said, people, I think y'all need to go and continue to do research on George Foreman, because I'm going to tell you something else he did. George Foreman, this is stuff people don't read about. When they had the riot up in California, George Foreman wrote $1 million check for those elderly women and men that couldn't get their prescriptions and stuff like that. He wrote $1 million check to help them out to make sure they got that. But you don't see stuff like that. You don't see stuff. He had a heart of gold. He spread the word. I don't go on all that gossip and all that other stuff. I'd never do that, because this is where I'm going to go. I'm going to go where your heart and your actions are. He showed himself a servant to the Lord, and he served it, and he elevated the Lord by telling, hey, he gave him all the praise and the glory. That's what I know about the man, and he was one heck of a father, loving his kids, and he raised them. So for Mr. George Edward Foreman, you can say, when the Lord look at you, my son, job well done, because you kept your word and the Lord kept his, and he left this earth a whole lot better than when he started here. That's what I want to tell y'all about George Edward Foreman. And people, get out and learn your history, because we got some awesome people out there. And last but not least, this is the most important thing that you need to get out of it. What God can do, and all things are possible when you got God in your life and you're willing to put the work in. Back to you, BWatts.
Appreciate that. Coach, what you think about George Foreman?
Like Uncle Steve said, it's about the purpose. God gives everyone gifts. He didn't give you gifts to keep them to yourself. He gave you gifts so you can bless others. I tell y'all all the time, be a blessing because you are a blessing. George Foreman was a blessing to have on earth. But when you think about what's going on in the world today, and you see us losing so many people in the way we're losing, it should make you feel like you should want to do better. It should make you want to understand what's going on. And this is one of the main reasons why we follow Coach Prime. Hey, Don Juan, I see you in there talking. If you don't like us, you can go find somewhere else to be. Because over here, we're going to talk sports, but we're going to always talk about God. So if you don't like that, I don't know what else to tell you. But George Foreman, hey, to be frank, he was a great heavyweight. He helped people. He blessed people. And like you say, you should let the one thing my granddad always told me: when I die, grandson, make sure they put on my tombstone, and we did. Let the work I done speak for me, and that's all you can go off of. Letting the work he done speak for him.
Yeah.
Look, hey, shout out to the OG George Foreman, H-Town legend. Look, we talking about 81 professional fights, y'all. 81 professional fights, 76 wins, 5 losses. But for me, coming up as a youth, being heavily involved in boxing myself as a youth, all the way up until my teenage years, until I left for college, and then later on went into the service. Man, boxing played a really big part in my life, man. I never had the pleasure of personally meeting George Foreman or going to his youth center when I was a young man growing up in Houston. But I've known other fighters that had the opportunity to meet him and work out in front of him. And man, it was such a pleasure for them to have that, and I never had that opportunity. But what I will tell you is that, man, them early years in college, man, when I was in my dorm room, that George Foreman grill, off the chain. I mean, off the chain. You couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me how you want your steak, how you want your burger. You couldn't tell me nothing. So again, to go back to it, man, to give a flowers to a legend, to an OG out there in Houston, did a lot for the community, did a lot for the city of Houston, did a lot for the sport of boxing within itself. And you can't forget that one classic match, that Rumble in the Jungle with another legend, Muhammad Ali. So again, he didn't duck no smoke. He fought the top fighters of his time. And when it came down to business, George made that bread. Because I'm telling you, them George Foreman grills, they was hot off the shelf. And it helped me as a young man, not eating fast food. That's what I took it as. I took it more so as you don't have to go out there and put fast food into your body. You can go and cook it a certain way. Because believe it or not, I know grown men that don't know how to grill, but they know how to use a George Foreman grill. So salute to George Foreman, man. I wish I would have had the pleasure of meeting him as a youth growing up in boxing, but such an amazing, amazing man, and forever grateful for what he did for the sport of boxing, for sure.
Real, got about 30 seconds. Talk to him about George Foreman.
Well, George was unique in his own right because you could tell from his roots that he had a relationship with the Lord, because that was established by his mama. And thinking about George, all that he's done or that he did do, it was always a motivating factor behind how he moved. And it was his upbringing and his relationship with the Lord. One of the things, he and I belong to this unique fraternity, the Fraternal Order of Preachers. When you belong to the Lord, you can run, but you can't hide. And you're going to end up doing what the Lord wants you to do. And it's going to have a direct impact on everybody around you. So what Steve mentioned, what JR mentioned, even what Coach mentioned, all of them have that tie into what brought him to where he was, because he was obedient. God blessed him. How do I know? I'm so glad you asked. I'm in that order because I tried to run. I should have been preaching at 14, but I ran for 3 years and started preaching at 17. So I'm right now at 49 years of preaching. Go ahead and BWatts.
All right. Appreciate that take, Rev. All right, let's get back to Colorado. Coach Dre. Different game that came, Coach Dre. When you look at Colorado offense, what does Pat Sherman have to do to get that running game going?
Just straight up and down, all he got to do is be consistent. He just got to be consistent. I think the biggest thing is the help of the offensive line and Marshall Faulk bringing in this idea to offensive linemen and running backs meeting in the same room, getting a great concept of what's going on, understanding the language. But again, I think we put a lot of burden on Pat Sherman when some of it shouldn't be burdened on him, because again, we don't know if he called a run play or not. I know it's a lot of plays that two checked out of. You get what I'm saying? That my boy just checked out of the play. So I'm not gonna say that he didn't try. But one thing that I saw this spring is I haven't seen any set but the 11 personnel set. When I've been looking at the offense, they've either had a tight end or H-back. In every set that I've seen, they've had a tight end or H-back. So I just think all they got to do is be consistent, BWatts. Go ahead, JR.
Look, Coach Dre, I'm taking one step further. Hey, if you got to run the ball. If you have to line them up in I formation and run the ball, run the doggone ball. Whatever it takes. But Coach Dre said it, consistency when it comes to running the ball. Dial up the play. You heard him kind of walk it back. Hey, I called the play, but it's up to the quarterback what they read, yada, yada, yada. And you take it out of the quarterback hand if you say, well, we're going I formation and we coming right at you. So whatever Pat Sherman decides to do with the offense, because obviously football has evolved and it's more from the shotgun. type of situation. But whatever he has to do to establish a run game, that is his responsibility as the offense coordinator. He needs to get it done this year. It's to you, Uncle Steve.
Well, the first thing I would do if I'm Pat Shermer, I'm running to Mr. Phillips. I'm running to Mr. Phillips and saying, I need me a right tackle. Because the way Warren Sapp was saying night when they was running past him on them edges, man, good God Almighty. I'm like, that's the first thing I'm gonna do. The second thing I'm gonna do is what Coach Dre did. I'm saying that 11 personnel. A tight end will be over there if I have to. I'm bringing Chrysler beside my boy, the Seton Express, because when you ride the Seton Express, it's like Space Mountain, baby. You can ride it all night long. Woo! That's what I would do. And then I'd put my boy Atkins over there beside Seton, and we'd run it. We'd run it like Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith left, Emmitt Smith right, Emmitt Smith up the middle. We'll do it all night long, baby. That's what I'm going to do. And it's to you, Rev.
Steve, you be tickling me. All that Ric Flair. I gotta go. I have to say what Steve said. Seton is different. We call Traps a uniform, but Seton is a unicorn in his own way also. So he's going to help really with the line, keeping the line together. Well, he's already doing it. He's already showing them how to hold each other accountable because he's leading by example. He's holding himself accountable. Can't nobody be harder on you than you. We all know our own deficiencies and where there's need for improvement. You remember we get that report card? We have excellent, good, need for improvement, and the last one would get your tail tore up all the time. So, but we all got needs for improvement. And Seton recognizes that. That's why he goes so hard with what he's trying to do for himself with that calendar on how many days he got left and trying to get everybody else to get in line also. All right, BWatts.
I still take it. I like that. I like that. Yeah, you see around in that thing. I like that. I like it. Coach Dre, when you look at the defense side of the ball, again, at that safe position, they can keep my head up while I sleep at night because at that safe position, I don't know.
Well, I told you, Bree. I told you. Well, see, right now, you got to remember everybody's not healthy, right? So Carter Stoudemire is not healthy. Preston Hodge is not healthy. We know what's going on with my guy Vickers. So what I think, we know Preston will be back. We know we got two solid corners, right? I believe in Tafik Byers. And I believe in Stoudemire. I think that with the surgence of RJ, that makes us way more ahead of the game than we think so. Now, BWatts, do I believe we're going to go get a safety in the cornerback out the portal? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. So you can go to sleep at night because we're going to get one out the portal. That don't mean this guy going to come in here and play. I didn't say that. I just said we're going to get one out the portal. Okay? So, but I feel that we at least, and then you got Benzosi, you got Murphy. I understand they haven't played, they haven't been proven, so I can understand your concerns. And then again, as much as we don't want to say this, Ben is going to play. Now, JR.
He heard that then. I bet my mic didn't crack then. My mic didn't break up then, I bet you.
So I think we at least, again, I said this the other week on the show. I just want quality backup. I want quality backup. And so I think if we get another corner, another safety out the portal, I'm good with where we at right now, but we got a lot of injuries and it's a lot of question marks. So we're gonna have to go get something else. But tell them to sleep well, we're gonna be okay. Go ahead, JR.
Look, BWatts, get some rest, man. You get some rest. That's all I'm gonna say. Get some rest. We talking about one of my favorite players on the team, Carter Stoutmire. Everybody always down on Carter Stoutmire. Carter Stoutmire has done everything the coaching staff has asked him to do, from outside corner to inside corner to playing back half of the defensive backfield. So when I'm with Coach Dre, yes, they will go into the portal and pull additional players in there. Now, if you get a guy that's all world, whatever, all conference, whatever, and they come, to see you and they're competing for a job and they're able to beat out Tafik Bayard or Carter Stoutmire or Ben Finnesit, since, BWatts so high on them, if they're able to do that in the portal and bring in a guy, that's great. That's called talent management, acquisition. That's what they should do. But what I will say for Ben Finnesit is that he has improved. I see the improvement, but he is still, in my opinion, he's still behind guys with that natural ability like Carter and Tafik Bayard. It's to you, Uncle Steve.
Well, if we talking about Ben, it better be Ben Affleck. But that's something else. So I like me some Ben, and Ben is good when I put on my knees. If I'm putting some Ben on my knees, I can understand that. I can do that on my shoulder or something like that. But on that football field, when I see Ben better be on there when he doing them almond commercials. He can do that for that. That's a great place for Ben. When they doing the kickoff, they can put Ben there. But when you got the genetic freak and Stoudemire and you got Bayard, I don't care if they hurt. Put them out there when they hurt. Put them out there. I'm still putting them out there on the field. They will be out on the field. If not, next man up, I'm moving R.J. Johnson over. And with that being said, since you guys have told me this, where is Phillips at? Phillips, get the checkbook out. Now we need to go to the portal. We need a couple more because of injuries and because of what happened to Vickers and everything. So we were going to get that anyway. I like Ben, but I'm one of these people like this one here. Ben, great, his attitude, his motivation. He's good for CU. And I'm the type of person as this one here. If Ben proves that he can produce, put him on the field. But what I don't want to see is a DEI hire by just putting them out there. And y'all can take it any way you want to. And it's to you, Red.
Notice Ninja didn't say DEI hire. You is officially on time out. Turn your chair back around. We'll call you when we're ready for you. I ran into Stoudemire. No, we ain't through. Turn back around. I ran into Carter in January at Dallas Love Field on the way back home from my uncle's homegoing. They had to do my uncle's homegoing in Fort Worth. And Stoudemire is two people. Well, one we ain't talked about, but two people that have already had some improvement in spring practice and with Coach Sway. That's Stoudemire and JB. But Stoudemire, if he can just stay healthy, I know BWatts, you want to turn around your chair, you can do that too. But if he just want to be healthy, he's going to be an impact back there in that safety room. Now, I saw somebody say that ain't nothing in the portal. Trust and believe. It's something in the portal that we can go in and get because of who we got coaching that can coach those who we go and get. And if nothing else, they will be a good Band-Aid until we could get back to those who need to get healthy. Okay. It's on you, BWatts.
Okay. Which player, name one player, one coach, this all-season addition was the biggest Coach Prime in Colorado football team. One coach, one player.
Oh, the biggest is Coach Sway. Coach Sway by and that's no knock on Falk or Brian or Dre. Coach Sway and what he's done in that room, the respect that he's demanding when he talks, they listen. Coach Sway by far for the coaches, and for the player, the newcomer, it would be Josiah Chrysler. This kid is penciled in at the right guard. Now I know I hear Uncle Steve say I want to move him to the left. I think Kareem is doing a good enough job if we don't go get nobody else. But right now, Coach Sway for the coaches and Zy Chrysler for the players. That kid has came in and he's gonna be a monster up there with C. And I feel good going into the spring with what I saw from those two guys. Go ahead, JR.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to use one of yours, Coach Dre. Definitely to me, Coach Andrew Swayze, the strength and conditioning coach. Bringing him in and kind of getting a turnover of unlocking that additional athleticism that these players possess. And then for a player, I'm going to go with that tight end, Atkins. Reason being is that was a position last year that was a void, along with the offensive line, Coach Dre. But to me, the tight end was a position of void. So Coach Swayze and that young man Atkins, I believe, are very beneficial. It's to you, Uncle Steve.
Well, if you're gonna do it to me, I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna go with Marshall Faulk as far as hires. And the reason I'm going Marshall Faulk because I think he has a voice in that room that Coach Prime will listen to. I think he can come in there and he can say some things in those meetings and say, hey, this is what we need to do. And I think that they will go and take heed to it. The next person I'm gonna go and I'm gonna say Zy Chrysler. I'm gonna go Chrysler, and I love the fact that they are gonna put him on the right guard. But for me, if I look over there, I don't want to have one side that's okay. When I got Seaton on the left side and you got Chrysler on that I can move over there beside him and can dominate, I want a dominant side. And then I can add Atkins over there because what you can do is this one here. You might not need Atkins on that side if you got them two. You could put Atkins over there where the weaker side is at to help out over there. That's just me. I would use the advantage, get me a strong side, and run that football the way they should run that football. And every team will know we running left. They already know we running left. Everybody will know we running left. Seaton Express, we running left. I'll do those two. Those are my two. Back to you, Rev.
Well, on the coaching side, I got to say Swayze because what Swayze has been able to do in the short time he's been here, it's like those players that have been here for a while, their whole body went through a straight up metamorphosis. I'm like, okay, where that ninja get them muscles from?
Yeah.
I'm so like, okay, look like so-and-so done got a step or two faster. But it's not only the strength, it is the conditioning. And so I believe with what Swayze's done, we're going to see a different impact on the overall play of all of them because now they're stronger, they're bigger, they're tougher, and they're faster. I really believe that. Now, player, I can't think of what his name is. He's a tackle. Is Chrysler a tackle or is he guard?
He He could. I think they said he. I think he played tackle at Illinois. So you probably thinking about the same guy. He the transfer, but yes, sir. He
Okay.
played, but he started for us. But he played tackle.
We got some, as Big Mama said, we got to get some big boned cheering on the line. Some of them that been eating greens and cornbread, ham hocks and black eyed peas, and be able to. I ain't trying to be. I ain't trying to be racist or nothing, but I'm just gonna call it like I see. So we have to, as we got the players, but we got to stop letting them melanin deficient people run over us on the line. And so my thing is, we got put what Swayze has done to work, and then we end up being able to open it. And I'm a preacher, so I gotta say that. I'm gonna close on this one right here. We gotta open up some holes big enough to drive a Greyhound through. Yeah, I'm done. Okay, go ahead, BWatts.
Well, you already know. Yeah, you already know. You want me to talk, say that. Do you want me to run your blood pressure? Hey, Colin, like a football, stroke me out. Hey, Real, K Salton, I say it because you don't want to say it. K Salton, run my blood pressure up, boy. Put me in a stroke, JR. Call the ambulance. JR, call the K Salton, y'all keep talking about we gonna run this ball, Marshall Park. Man, K Salton. Swayze. But when I heard somebody talking about Swayze and like football, now I've been watching Swayze every move, every word he say. He's a game changer. Just think now. He had a before, right? Now he's picking him again for 2 more months. 2 more months. Imagine the work they ready to put in. I heard them say they need to offline open up some hole for some to drive that 18 wheeler through. I would say, and I hate to agree with Steve, I would move Zach over to that left guard and run it down. They put that tight end over there. Oh yeah, put Big Zach Atkins over there with Big Diesel and Big Zach. Now, in that video, coach, well off. I don't know what 99 is. But can big that can but I don't know who he is. Yeah. Boy, he put that work on him, boy.
I mean,
who is that?
That's Lightfoot. But again, this is what I'm gonna say. You saw that, but also you heard Sap say, "I'll take what Cash was giving us." He was losing, no doubt. I mean, he was jacking him up and all that good stuff. But he was saying, "I'll take what I'm getting up to shoot. I'll take what Cash giving me up to shoot." And you won't see a stronger guy than that kid Lightfoot. So I'll take it. Now, let's talk about how yesterday you was on here talking about you talk about how Zach Crystal had your boy locked up, Brother Barnes. You talking about that?
One Barnes.
Yes, I told you go to 414 well off video. Hey, listen, hold on.
That was big Thomas.
He did Barnes like that first, and then he got in the fight with Takeefa Thomas. But Barnes was first. He jacked Barnes up first, and then he got.
I gotta check that out. I didn't see it.
Hey, I'm telling you what time to go look at it. 414 in the well off video. 414 in the well off video. My boy Zach Chrysler had your boy hemmed up just like that right there. Yeah. Boom.
I gotta check that one out.
414 in the video. 414. Minute
I
four,
take that out.
four,
That's okay. But still,
I said
Barnes
listen.
still gonna start. What you saying?
Oh
He
yeah,
ain't
I
start?
said he gonna start. I said he gonna start.
So he can't get, so he can lose one play?
Huh?
He can't lose one play?
No, listen, I'm just telling you that he
Oh,
lost
Jeff,
that rep.
you saying that. I tell you, I tell you what, okay, okay. Okay, since you want to come in, my boy, my son, you make sure you bring that video back. Tell Coach Dre to bring that video back to his son jacked up one play.
Oh yeah. Hey,
Okay. Be my dog alone, Coach Dre.
Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But what I'm saying is, that's when I realized that Zach Crystal gonna get penciled in.
Hey, he tough. He good.
Yeah.
He good.
That's what
Now going forward, stay right there. We need a right type. When I think what number 40, he went down low and he bit that thumb. We can't have it.
I mean, that's great development. That's great technique. You're right. We need a right tackle. The right tackle that was there, he hurt. He was hurt. So that's one of the. I think that's going to be.
Who is the right tackle?
What they got to do right now, they got to do 57 from Ole Miss. That's the transfer in from Ole Miss. That's the I can't pronounce his last name, but that's who they got at tackle right now. Right now, when you see the first team out there, you got CNET at tackle, you got Kareem at a guard, you got Cash at center, you got you got Chrysler at a guard, and then you got the kid from Ole Miss. I can't pronounce his last name, but they've been working Flapjack over there as well. Me personally, I've been liking Flapjack a little better. I'm not.
What number he is? I don't even know their number.
75.
Flapjack. He do look good. He look good. He look good. Now, when you come to the receiver room, I seen that race between who was that? Mario Miller. Who y'all ran?
Draylon.
Oh yeah, Draylon. You think Mario back? Healthy?
Again, there's no need to practice him in the spring and he go out there and re-injure himself. I think they're just trying to get him healthy. You seen him going through drills. I think Friday was the first practice where he stayed out there in full gear the whole practice. But there's no need to practice him in spring to go out there, get something fluky happen to him, or he hasn't ran full speed like that. I didn't like that he ran full speed like that because that's the way you mess up your hamstring when you ain't really been running like that. So I wasn't really thrilled about him racing, but that's them. But I think if we had to go play tomorrow, I think he could play. I think if we had to go play tomorrow, I think Omarion could play.
I got about 3 about everybody. Start you, Coach Dre. What's Colorado's strength? Right now.
The defensive line, hands down. The defensive line. Ain't nothing to talk about. We got the most depth on the defensive line. We got the most experience. And that's the one position where I feel we got the most quality backup. We got the most quality backup on the defensive line. So defensive line. Go ahead, JR.
I want to say the way you pronounce his name is Tamani. I could be wrong, but I gave it a shot. I want to say it's Tamani. But to follow up what Coach Dre saying, yeah, I mean, it got to be the defensive line. Strongest room. The cornerback room probably second. But that defensive line room by far is the strongest room. It's to you, Uncle Steve.
Well, I'm gonna go with it. If we don't count the safeties with the DBs, I would go with the DB room. And the reason I would go with the DB room, they're complete. Those guys have played, they produced, they've been together for a minute. That defensive line, the edges are legit. If I'm gonna say anything, I can't say the middle because, to be honest with you, their production isn't there. Their potential is out the roof when it pertains to Barnes and Otis and Lightfoot and Coleman and all that. That's off the charts as far as their talent. But I'm talking about production. If I'm looking at production and what they have produced, it's those DBs and edges. The DBs and the edges, they got numbers. They have produced, and they have produced at a high level. I can see those. So that's for me. But as far as potential, that defensive line looked like them old boys for the Philadelphia Eagles when you had old Reggie White and Jerome Brown back in the day. So that's what I'm going. But I'm going to you, Rev.
I think I have to toe the line. I think really defensive line because one is I'd say the fact that they have so much opportunity because they've been getting bigger and we've been getting bigger by getting some bigger ones to get bigger. You hear what I said? We've been getting bigger because we've been getting some bigger ones to get bigger. And so what's happening with that is that even looking at Well-Off, the way they sap is on them, and the way that they coaching them up, they gonna have a few bugs, but it's not gonna take them as long to adjust like it did last season. That's not gonna take that long. In so doing, and the way that's happening, that's going to only aid the DBs and the safeties, because when you start plugging them holes, it's like somebody put some grease down a pipe. You can't get past it. And so I gotta go with him on that.
All right. Hey, we want to thank everybody for tuning in to Sports Talk with BWatts tonight. Appreciate each and one of y'all for stopping by and joining us. And our way with Coach Dre. Our guest tonight is Steve and JR and Rev Nels. I want to thank Rev Nels for joining the panel for the first time. So we didn't have to read his comments in the chat. So we just listened to the voice of Rev Nels. And we want to thank him again. Sports Talk with BWatts and Coach Dre, a shout out at his church 2 weeks ago, and we just like him because we just want to return the same things for shout out his church. So we appreciate y'all. I'm gonna let Uncle Steve, JR, and Reverend Nelson give y'all last word. I'll let y'all go and I'm gonna hold Coach Dre for 15 more minutes. We got to talk about how no, can't leave without talking about it. Go ahead, JR.
Hey, again, BWatts, appreciate it, man. Working through the technical difficulties, man. Again, I'm going to send you that benevolent care package, just some audio cords. I'm going to make sure you're good. But again, it feels great to be up here with an astute panel, man. So much wisdom, knowledge up here. And great opinions when it comes to the University of Colorado, Coach Prime and that football team. So thank you, gentlemen, for allowing me to crash the party. Coach Dre, salute to you, allowing me to be up here with you and represent. And everybody in that chat, I appreciate it holding me down. Salute to y'all. Been reading the comments and cracking up in the background. Y'all probably saw me, but thank you again.
Well, I want to say thank you to everybody. Rev, it's always a pleasure when you're able to come on here and the people in the chat that join us and just fellowship. It's all about the fellowship. That's all we do. We fellowship, even though it's hard sometimes to be, to hear all that snap, crackling, and popping that's going on. But, we make it do what it do. With that being said, BWatts, it's a pleasure. You do your thing. It's It's called the BWatts show for a reason. You are doing your thing. You're meeting people. You're meeting people where they're at. Coach Dre, I salute you, young man. It is always a pleasure to fellowship with you. JR Boxing, keep on swinging, young man. Keep doing what you're doing. God bless y'all. And I'm gonna put some boots down in a few minutes, because that's what I do on this here wonderful day. Because tomorrow I got to write 5 bullets, and I keep it moving. Back to you, Rev.
Well, let me first of all thank BWatts for the invitation. I was honestly humbled at the invitation. Appreciate y'all. I here almost every week, and to get your commentary and get the brothers' commentary, and yeah, to laugh at BWatts too. Whoosh. But seriously, I thank y'all for and the chat. I appreciate your support. At least nobody booed me when I got up here. Let me just say this. The name of my church is called the Mount Zion Baptist Church, Sacramento. If you want to look that up on YouTube, as I mentioned, we're on YouTube and Facebook. And on second Sunday, we know we go by Sundays when we're in church. On second Sunday, which was the 9th, I preached They Not Like Us. So if you want to take a look at that, it is on YouTube. And we had a little time. Bless y'all. Pray God's blessing and favor be upon all of y'all. And remember this, that no matter what it looked like, God is still in control. And the unique thing about God and Jesus, anytime Jesus goes to God on our behalf, God does not tell Jesus no.
All right, Coach Dre, my friend, Coach Dre. When you be coaching down there, if they want to tell me, they say, I know. Coach Dre, when you coaching down there, he's not high school quarterback. High quarterback.
Well, so this what happened last year. We going into the season, and that's why I told you that the transfer portal is also going on in high school. We going through the summer workouts. We got the summer workouts going on, and at the last minute, my senior quarterback going into our senior year last year, he transfers the week before practice starts. So guys, I started a true freshman last year. A true freshman, a 13 finna turn 14-year-old freshman by the name of Cade Sullivan. And he took us 7-3 as a true freshman. Made all area. So this will be his second full year as a starter as a 10th grader. He's a great kid. He's about 6'2". He's getting great work. Just this weekend, he went and Anthony was down here in Gainesville, Jacksonville area. He went and worked with Anthony Richardson. As you know, as a lot of people know, I coached Anthony Richardson in high school. In Little League in high school. So he got that workout. But he's just a 10th grade kid that, we put the weight of the world on that kid's shoulders, and he delivered for us. I was so proud of him and what he did. He never shook. He never wavered. He just when the kid left, he stood up and told the boys that next day in practice, he said, "Guys, y'all don't worry. I'm gonna do the very best I could." And when you got a kid that's a freshman that ain't afraid of the spotlight or the challenges, you can't shake it. So I was proud of that kid. But like I say, he was a true freshman. He's gonna be going into a sophomore season. He's a class of 28 kid by the name of Cade Sullivan. If you follow me on I'm not on TikTok, on the other Instagram, you'll see him. A great kid. Go ahead, BWatts.
Okay. You look at the defensive side of y'all team. Who the best player and what is his name?
His name is DeMarco Daniels. He's a 26 kid like my son. He started since he was a freshman on varsity. We have offers right now from UNLV, Sacramento State, the University of Syracuse. He's a kid that we didn't have these offers last year. Going into this time last year, we sat that kid down in our office and told him, right now you a real BSer. You're a real BSer. You really ain't taking nothing serious. You're really playing around. If you think that you got enough time, you really don't. And once we talked to that kid and gave that kid the recipe and what he needed to do, he did it. You don't have to ask him to work out. You ain't got to beg him to work out. He calling you to ask you what you doing today. Can we go work out? These boys worked out on, again, if you're on Instagram, you see my story. We was on spring break. Them guys didn't take no days off. And he the leader. One game in the playoff, he had 22 tackles. And that's what I think really put him on the map. But he played middle linebacker for us. He the heart and soul of our football team. He's just a great kid. Got another kid with a 3.0, a better GPA. But he's our leader. No ifs, ands, and buts about it on defense. DeMarco Daniels is his name. DeMarco Daniels, class of 26 kid.
What about that wide receiver room? Who the best wide receiver? Give me two up.
Well, they'll both be 26 kids. One guy's name is Marcus Coleman, and this gonna be for Reb and the blessing. So last year, first day of the kid done had a great spring. We're getting ready to start summer workouts. And I get the summer workouts, and the head coach, he outside the door, and he's shaking his head, and he got tears in his eyes, and I don't know why. And so I go up, I put my hands on him, I say, Gator, what's wrong, baby? What's going on? He say, it's Marcus. So I'm like, what you mean it's Marcus? What's wrong with him? He say, man, he went for his normal physical, and they say he got a heart deficiency, something wrong with his heart. And during the spring, it was times where, like, he run a play, and he just dead out of breath. Just, Coach, I can't breathe. I got to come out right quick. And we be like, you just ran one play. What's wrong? So we thought he was out for the year. He was out for the year. Lo and behold, about 2 months later, his mama just said, I want to take you back to the doctor and just see what they say. They took him back to the doctor. No heart murmur. No heart deficiency. No heart, nothing. And so, he's trying to get out there on the field, and I was just like, I can't let you play. I can't let you play. Me and Gator just. So we didn't let him play for about 2 more weeks, and then him and his mom and his parents came to us, and she just said, Coach, hey, what God got for us, He got for us. Let him play. He gonna be all right. Because they told me my baby will never play again, and so we let him play. He played the last about 4 games and the one playoff game we had. This offseason, he's been great working out. He's a leader in that room. But just to see where that kid has come from, when people say it, and that's why I say don't never take any day for granted or take anything for granted. So that would be one of my kids. The other kid, he's a small kid. He's another 26 kid. His name is Caden Ferguson. He's about 5'7", but if you put the ball in this young man's hand in space, he'll make you miss. The first man gonna miss. Ain't no if we throw him a bubble screen. That first guy ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about him. I've had the pleasure of coaching this kid since he was around this kid since he was born, since he was a little baby. Me and his dad also is a coach on the football team, but we grew up together. So Caden Ferguson, like I said, a 5'6" slot receiver from Eastside High School, a class of 26 kids.
Yeah, good, man. Glad that worked out for him. Let's send Red, we might have went switch back to Portugal. All right. Coach Dre, start it off. 2 on Colorado that can play right now in the NFL?
Jordan Seaton and DJ McKinney. Jordan Seaton
All
and
right, you
DJ
got to tell me
McKinney.
why.
Jordan Seaton, I just believe he's the one. I think Rail said it earlier. He a unicorn. He a once in a lifetime type of talent. You don't find Jordan Seatons every day. For a kid to come in and play big time football as a true freshman, his height, his size, and look at how his body has changed. His body changed from when he first got there to last, before he started. And now look at the muscle, and then now you getting to see the kid's mindset and his thought process, and that's what makes you believe he's a pro. Because right now Jordan Seaton thinks like a pro. He doesn't think like a college kid. He thinks like a professional. DJ McKinney, he has the length, the height, the quick twitch. He's a prototypical type NFL DB. So yeah, for me it would be Jordan Seaton and DJ McKinney.
Who you got, Rip?
I've shown up got Seaton because I don't know if just my prophetic kicking in or if it's just what I feel. But Seaton get ready to make a whole bunch of the other offensive linemen mad because they see that Seaton don't have no off switch. And they gonna want to break, but Seaton ain't gonna give him no break. He's gonna keep on pushing himself, and which is going to, because he set an example, is going to make everybody else get better. Now, I'm leaning toward McKinney, and I'll tell you why. I was reviewing some film just early today, after I came home from church. I ate that me one of them good after church naps, and I looked up and saw a couple games where McKinney was thumping. He was thumping. If he can be consistent on his thumping game, I will say this, that he's going to have some hits. I won't say every play, but enough plays. He's going to have some hits on the order of Cam Sumlin, Craig, and Shiloh. Not a whole bunch, but it's going to be enough to get noticed. Back to you, BWatts.
That's a good take, bro. Good take. Coach Ray, when you said that running back room, you Rip, which back you think may have a better chance than running for 800 yards and 500 yards catch?
I mean, that's gonna be hard. It's hard for me to believe that somebody gonna give me 805 catches, 500 yards catches. It'll be hard. I think the guy that's gonna get me closer to 1,000 is gonna be IA. The kid just looked like he got it. He done work hard. I think if he break, I don't think you'll catch him. So for me, it would be IA. Like I said, I just think it'll be hard to get to 500 catching. You get what I'm saying? Because I see why I'm not a fan of him catching the ball out the backfield either. I'm just not a big fan of him catching the ball out the backfield. But if we talking about just straight running the ball, you give me IA right now. That's what I got. Go ahead, Real.
When BWatts asked that question, the first person that popped up in my head was IA. The very first person that popped up in my head is IA. And the reason being is because the running back room had this common thread problem. They really needed somebody to coach them real good. And well, in addition to changing the call, that that helped a whole bunch. But I think in IA's particular position, with Falk being there, it's gonna be like this. Light switch going on. It's gonna be just like that. Light switch going on because Falk been there, done that, got a t-shirt and some potato chip to show it. He know what he's doing. So it's definitely gonna transition. And I think IA is gonna be able to catch it faster than some of the other players.
All right. Coach Ray, who's gonna lead the team
In tackles? Who gonna lead the team in tackles? Sacks? Right now, I'm gonna go with McCoy. Right now, I'm gonna go with McCoy. Right now, I'm gonna go with McCoy because I don't know if Sammy gonna stay healthy. I don't know if Wade gonna be healthy. I'm going with McCoy. I like Alan Walker now. That's my guy. He gonna be the leader. But I just think that McCoy is gonna be. You don't got no film on McCoy right now, so don't nobody really know about now about game 3 or 4. But right now, yeah, I got to go with McCoy.
I don't know.
Hey, Coach Ray can hit it on the head, boy. That ball, hey, that McCoy, that person, that is real. Just look at his film, boy, real.
I really don't know.
You got on wall. Boy, them gonna be them two there, man. And I can't. If what y'all can get playing time, and it's gonna be enough playing time. The freshman from IMG.
BWatts, let me go here. If he stay healthy, Keaton Wade. If you stay healthy, Keaton Wade. If you stay healthy.
Yeah, but I still got to stay with McCoy. Yeah, a lot of Americans can get in there and get a lot of playing time. It's a good possibility he get in there if he can crack the lineup. But the way I see Coach Prime gonna play his veterans first. If they, it's just hard for me to send them. Right now, Coach Prime wants to develop his freshman because he know he's gonna need the best. But the ones that been there gonna get more of the playing time. I think that's gonna walk. And like you said, Wade can come back. Them three, they're gonna be tough in that Big 12, bro. I just don't. I mean, good. Yeah, we don't need. We playing up against a lot of quarterbacks like Kansas quarterback like the run ball, Kansas State quarterback like the run ball, BYU quarterback like the run ball, scramble around. That's what I'm looking at there. Now, when you look at the receivers, who gonna lead the room in touchdown? You think?
I got O. I mean, I just believe it's gonna be his time. I got a Marion Miller. I just feel like it's his time. I feel like every time you hear somebody talk, they saying how he growing up, how he getting better. He out there running against Draylon. So you got to feel like he getting healthy, he getting strong. I just think he gonna be the guy they look to. We know he can make big time plays when you put. Santana Moss said it one time. He said big time players make big time plays in big time games, and that's what I expect them to do. So right now I got to go with Omarion Miller.
You got real?
I said O as well because he got something to prove. Because he suffered that leg break last season. His heart was crushed. Not crushed, but crushed it did. It was just that severe because he was just getting on the track to make an impact. And it was, you think about how they thought when he was running that ball, they thought that knee went down. Yeah. He's gone.
Yeah.
He was gone. So I think he's coming back. I think he's coming back really this season with a bigger hunger than a lot of the other receivers in that room because he got something to prove.
That's good. That's good. Coach Ray just had that Big 12 today. Hiram Smith and BJ Green. When you looked at the Big 12 pro day, who stood out to you?
The two names you just talked about, BJ Green, running a time that was, they said it would have been top 5 if he'd have been at the combine in the 40. That kid, I mean, and then when you hear Coach Sapp say, I worked my butt off to try to get him in the combine, they just wouldn't let him in. He went out the pro day and did well, set himself up really good going into Colorado's pro day, and then Herm Smith, for him not to have as much playing time. We know how we're going to have to make the team. You know, we're not going in here thinking that we're going to get drafted. We know we're going to have to probably make it through the free agent market, but knowing that we done put out good film, we done put good workouts in, and also Bentley did real well. He didn't run the 40. He said he was waiting to run the 40 at pro day at Colorado, but his field work was amazing. His field work was amazing. So I was very pleased with BJ Herman Smith and what Bentley did for us at the pro day. Not disappointed in Will neither. I think Will be more comfortable at Colorado pro day. I really wish he'd have just did the field work and the jumping and didn't run the 40, but he did. But it didn't hurt that he ran a 4.5. We can get that thing back to a 4.4 at Colorado pro day. We definitely we definitely anywhere from 5th to 7th round draft pick. No doubt about it.
Did you see the pro day? You got any comments?
I saw highlights of it. I did see Shepard run 40. I did see BJ, and I saw a little bit of Block Bullet. I think for Block Bully and BJ, it was it was a good preparatory move for the Colorado Pro Day. They needed to prep for the Colorado Pro Day.
Right.
And so I think what's going to happen that at the Colorado Pro Day, it's going to be a whole bunch of folks with the chin open like this when them boys get through, because they're going to be comfortable at home. They're going to be comfortable at home. They're going to be more relaxed at home. They're not going to have the tension like they had being at the combine, even at the pro day. So I really expect that maybe 5th or 6th round, Chidozie might get in there. I think there might even be some room in there for. I hope Jimmy is able to get down to like a 4.3, what he was practicing. He was practicing that before he did it at the combine. So, and I think he even said that he wasn't fully comfortable at the combine, but he get back at the house. Yeah, them Jets gonna come on.
All right. Coach Drake been in the league. We got to talk about the nephew, your son, his development. Let us know and talk to us to close out, bro.
Right now, like I say, we just in the lab. We getting stronger. We getting better. Like I say, he a 26 kid, offensive defensive lineman. About 6 foot. Hopefully, we get to about 6'1". Lord willing.
Oh,
But he just a
he's
good.
6 foot.
Yeah, he's 6 foot. He's 6 foot right now.
Oh, what he bench?
Uh, we did benching. We benching right now, maxing right at 300. But our squat right now. Yeah, we got.
What?
I think it's on my Twitter. Y'all can go see him squat. We squat 580 right now. 580 right now.
Hey, what?
No
Oh,
bullshit.
Lord, today and tomorrow too.
But you got a meal ticket right there, boy.
Get on the 5. Well, again, we would his summer of his freshman year going into his sophomore year, he got under 500 and squatted that. And I knew, you get what I'm saying. So I started slowing him down a little bit because I didn't want him to get too much up there. So I slowed him down a little bit. So we at 580, but we got a couple of kids. The kid I told you about, the linebacker, he 530 to 540 under the squat rack. So yeah, but like I said, he's just a great kid, man. I'm just proud that he's my son and that he's being a blessing. Again, like I told you, the biggest thing I learned from him last season was that he knows the assignment. Again, we at practice. We got an Asian kid. If you saw that picture, I sent you with all the kids and the kid big number 72, where he plays tackle beside my son. And you know, he's playing with a lot of the kids that's on the team. They grew up with my son. They done played together their whole life. And so just like what we saw at Colorado, they out there blocking where the linemen get into it. They get into it with the guy. And you're thinking that my son just gonna try to pull these guys off and not fight his friends. But David gets in there and he fights with them.
Yeah.
No ma'am. And so he gets in there and he gets into it with his friends and they fighting and they going at it. But when we got in the car, he said, "Daddy, I had to make him." And so everybody was surprised. So when practice got over, Gator was like, "Hey, them the kind of kids I want." But he said, "Daddy, I gotta let him know." Hello, y'all. He said, "Daddy, I gotta let him know that I got his back. He gotta feel like I got his back. He gotta go out here with me every snap, every play, and make it happen." And so again, we just looking for the opportunity. We got a few offers from a few schools right now, West Florida.
Okay.
We've been talking to Delaware State, and a few other schools. So you know, we gonna take the opportunity wherever God granted for us to go, and we're gonna be happy with it. But first off, I want to thank Rev for coming up here and spending time with us today. Like I say, it's always good to get to see people that you've been talking with on a regular basis, and being a blessing to me and Rev. We've been in that chat with Colin for at least a year or two now, and
Yeah.
we always so it was just a great blessing for you to be up here. Like I say, today I just listened to his whole service, his youth day service. It was a blessing just to hear that young man speak and talk to the youth and talk to the other people and see that young lady give her life to God and things of that nature. So it was a blessing to be there. To everybody out there in podcast land, we appreciate y'all. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world. But y'all decided to come by here and stop with us. Hey, don't take no day for granted. Don't put off tomorrow what you can. Don't put off thinking that you got tomorrow. Do what you can to do today. Pick up that telephone if you got to call somebody and tell them you're sorry, you love them, you miss them, you care about them. Whatever you need to do, because tomorrow ain't promised. Tomorrow ain't promised none of us. And you gotta make sure that you forgive, because God laid on the cross and laid out His life to forgive us of our sins. So who are you not to forgive somebody? And I'm not asking you to forgive somebody for them. I'm asking you to forgive somebody for you.
For yourself.
So, cause if you, how you gonna receive a blessing if you can't forgive somebody else? And like I always tell y'all, if I send no ships out, no ships will come in. And if there's no contest, nobody can win. Game one, if they haven't been played, and prayers can't be answered if they haven't been played. I am your man, Coach Drake. That is my brother BWatts, and that is my pastor, the Reverend Nelson. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Rev, I love you. I appreciate everything you do for me. I appreciate it.
All right, that's Coach Dre and Reverend
Bless you.
Nelson.
Thank you, BWatts.
Appreciate y'all for joining. Y'all have a good night, and may God continue to bless each and one of you as well as your entire family. And always remember, if you be good to God, God will be good to you. Until the next time on Sports Talk, we'll be Watts. I'm your host, Bernard Watts. Y'all be blessed, and thank you for rocking with me. All right? Appreciate you.
Snap to Caden, sets up the option, and he'll escape and run up the middle, dancing to the 25, to the 20, to the 10, near side, right of the touchdown, Liberty!
It's Caden Salter, the dual threat quarterback.
Oh, he's the best quarterback in the conference, 44 touchdowns last year, because he can make throws like this in the corner of the end zone, poised. And the biggest thing about him, his dual threat ability. Those legs. When you don't have him caged up, this is what he can do. Escape out the pocket, kill you for big gains. Caden Salter is a complete package.
Last touchdown, what'd you see?
Look how beautiful this play was on play design. Look, they got these guys all out wide. And watch how this running back swings wide. And look what it does to this linebacker. It gets him out the box. Now Salter's one-on-one to go down the middle. Look how they did it. This is exactly how you draw it out. You get Salter a one-on-one down the middle, 41 yards untouched when you have that type of athlete at quarterback. Beautiful play design by Liberty's offense.
And how has your faith helped you, not just in the hills and valleys of the season, but throughout your life to this point?
It helps me extremely, just knowing that he's there with me every step, every drop back, every pass, every mistake, every touchdown. Just knowing that he's with me at all times most definitely helps me out a lot. Just knowing that if nobody got my back, he does, and that's all that matters. So I mean, it's words that you can't even explain, knowing that you're going out there playing with God watching you and on your back at